Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome back for another speed build. So if you've seen my latest episode of the Hunter Baby Challenge, I decided to make my next baby daddy someone who my previous children who had just moved out, I decided to start flirting with their roommate. So this is that guy's house in Evergreen Harbor. And when I visited this house, it was just really depressing. I don't know, there's just something about starter homes that come with specific packs or the base game. I mean, you know what I'm talking about whenever you go into a new world and then you see like some of the builds, they're just really sad. This is not to say that any of the newer ones, like the packs like Werewolves and even like Snowy Escape, that those houses are bad. I just know that they have limited things to work with. Some of the creators that I've seen do videos on like the houses they've created for these packs, I know they have some crazy rules, like you can't use alt placement on some of them, and you're limited to the items within base game and also the pack that, you know, they're using to debut. But with this house, I noticed that it had the problem of not having enough lighting in here, so it was pretty dark. Also, in my Let's Play, I moved out about 4 children into this house, so there are 5 Sims living here, and there was 1 giant bedroom in this house already. And then it felt like the rest of the house was kind of like wasted space. So I wanted to try to divide this up into a 3-bedroom house. I wasn't planning on doing 3 bathrooms, but that's what this house ended up being, was a 3-bedroom and 3-bathroom. And I think it has enough space now to house 5 Sims, or 6, and also have enough bathrooms for the entire family. So this could very easily be a multi-generational home. Definitely not the nicest one, but you know, it's a starting point for sure. And honestly, with the Eco Lifestyle pack, there are a lot of good windows and doors and also flooring and wallpaper, but a lot of it lends itself to being kind of like a modern build. And this house I noticed was very, I guess, more traditional, or just at least it's not modern. And so I wanted to use as many base game items as I could with this build or this renovation. And so that's why I stuck with like the base game doors and the base game windows, like that double hung window. Honestly, I use that window in other builds for myself just because it's a good sized window. And it also doesn't have too many panes. So shout out to that window from the base game. But all in all, I think I used items just from Eco Lifestyle, base game, and Get Together. But that's because Get Together has the best columns in this game as well. I can't help but use those columns every time I have a build that I use columns in. They're just like the best ones, honestly. With this build, I just wanted it to be simplistic and functional, and honestly, it kind of reminded me of something that's going on in my life right now, which is I'm searching for a new place to live. If you guys have been following my channel, you guys already know that I just moved. And so, understandably, this is like one of the most annoying processes to go through again. But with that going on right now in my real life, I decided to kind of put that influence on this build. And I imagined that since there are 5 young adult and adult Sims living in this house, I kind of wanted this to be like a renovated, like older build. So like not everything is updated. And you know, that's like the base game fixtures that I put in this house. Not everything is updated, but everyone is kind of squished in this house, and it does look a little newer as far as like the paint job and the color scheme. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but with newer builds in real life and also like updated apartments, every time like a landlord wants to update an apartment, they always stick to the color scheme, like blues and gray and white, just to make everything look like brighter and bigger. I really think that's a trick they use. In some areas of this build, I know that the like walkways are a little tight, but honestly, I feel like that's super realistic as far as like apartments go. And if you're gonna have 5 Sims living here, I think it just makes perfect sense to try to fit in as many items as possible into this space. I didn't want to expand too much on like the left side of the lot just because this house was, one, it was already at a tall wall height. So I decided to bring it down to the regular wall height. It just didn't make any sense to have it so big. And then 2, I feel like it'd be nice to have like a little bit of a yard space for this house. I didn't put anything in it yet, and that's just because I think at the very end I had like 1,000 simoleons left over. So it really wouldn't be worth it to put anything in the yard, but I like to envision that whoever would live in this space would like a fenced-in yard. And that's also something that I'm looking for currently is I'm looking for a house right now that has 2 to 3 bedrooms and has a yard space. Let me know in the comments if this is the same for you guys, but yard space is at such a premium where I live that anytime I try to find a place with a yard, it feels like it gets snatched up immediately. But I think that's just like the rental climate everywhere, is that it's really fast and you kind of have to have the cash in hand. And so I know what I'm talking about sounds kind of heavy, but at the same time, like, this is why I like playing this game, because I love that my Sims can afford a house just like on a single income. Actually, I think it was just I think his name was Arjun, yeah. So it was just Arjun's income that we were using to build this house. So it makes me feel really good just to be able to build something pretty and functional and nice for my Sims on a single income when it's not that way in real life. So if you'll notice, I did do a lot of the same color schemes that were originally in this house, but I did try to make it a little bit brighter by doing lighter floors and different colored walls for the bedrooms, just keeping it nice and airy, and I added a lot more windows. So honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way that this house turned out, and also I don't know why this house didn't include more decorative items. Even on a limited budget, I feel like some of the items in Eco Lifestyle are cheap enough to add just like a little bit of decoration. I know that's a thing too, that, you know, when people make houses for EA, I know that's like one thing that they've talked about is that there's an item restriction. So you can't have too many items in a lot because of performance issues. They like to keep it as minimal as possible just to ensure that the game will run on most people's computers. Which I think is considerate, because whenever I was playing The Sims on like my old MacBook, it did not perform very well. It sounded like my MacBook was like an airplane about to take off. But yeah, I didn't do like an entire overhaul on this build just because sometimes I just want to keep it simple and sweet and short. And usually whenever I do an entire build, it takes me multiple hours, which I know is not actually a long time, but it feels like a long time. It's nice sometimes just to be able to build with limited packs, because I think that's the thing that contributes to how long it takes for me to do builds, is that I have so many options, and then I end up using so many packs, but also like that's the whole point of buying packs, right? Looking at this house, I don't know, would you rent this for $3,000? Because honestly, that's what I'm seeing right now in real life when I'm searching for houses, is that a lot of things that even look like this, I'm not even joking, where I live, they go for like almost $3,000. And I live with my husband and also a roommate, and sometimes it feels like it's just not enough. How is anyone supposed to keep up, you know? I guess the whole point of me saying that is that, yeah, there's like a real rent crisis going on in the US right now. Not to get too political on my channel or anything, but like, yeah, it's kind of bad. I'm just curious though, what does your rent situation look like where you live? Like, do you think it's affordable? Do you think it's reasonable? Or do you think it's unreasonable like I do? Just let me know in the comments. Here's a neat trick with some of the builds that come with packs. If you notice that there's like flooring on the lot instead of just grass, most of the time you can take away that flooring and then replace it with terrain paint, and then you save a lot of money that way. Another little trick is if you do have stairs and you don't care about the underside of them, especially like outside stairs, you can take away the bottom of the stairs as well. So I'm just doing some light landscaping here on the outside, but in just a little bit, I can jump into the game and show you what it looks like. All right, y'all, here we are in game, and I just loaded into the household that was already here. So that's Arjun, and then also 4 of Imelda's children. And this is Anya out front. I just gave her a tiny little makeover. I can't help myself. She was walking around looking kind of weird. But here is the updated house. It does look still a little, what's the word? Or what's the phrase? I guess rough and ready. But honestly, it's still like a huge improvement from what was here before. So like major differences, I just filled in the lot with like a terrain paint concrete. And then I changed out like the front here with this greenhouse tile. I don't know, I think it looks a lot better. So let's just get on with it and get inside. So you have the mailbox literally right in front. And then when you walk, oh, that's too far. And then when you walk in, Oh, look, everyone's just hanging out. How cute. Oh yeah, so whenever you walk in, yeah, it just looks like your typical apartment. So you got 2 of these base game couches here, a small TV, and then like, I imagine the landlord, whoever owns this was like, oh, it's an updated kind of look. It's like modern. So yeah, you have like these simple shades, like the roller shades. And then you just have like a simple 4-seater table with a computer nook to the right. There's Arjun. What's he doing? Oh, he's on a chat room. Okay. And then, yeah, in the kitchen here, very simple design. Just 3 counters. And then you also have like the stove in the back there with like a little window that faces out. And then from the kitchen, you have access to the outside. I didn't put anything outside because there's only like 1,000 simoleons left over from this household. And then on the other side of the kitchen, there's a downstairs bathroom. So this just has like a basic shower and a toilet and sink, all super cheap base game items that are like pretty typical of starter homes. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that there is a bedroom downstairs. And I imagine this is probably Anya's bedroom. But yeah, really, really tight in here, so I had to put the bed up against the wall. But this would also suffice as like an office for another use instead of being a bedroom. Upstairs here, you have like a closet, so I'm gonna say that's like a linen closet. And then 3 windows out here, or 3 windows that face out to the street. And then this is just like a tiny little landing here with 3 bedrooms. So this is the master suite. This is Arjun's. And yeah, it's simple. I mean, it's still an improvement from what was here before. There was kind of like nothing in here before. And then you have your little ensuite. So yeah, toilet, sink, shower. I think this is a nicer shower. No, it's the same shower. And I kept the light that was in here before. But I did paint the rooms all different colors. But I kept to like a light blue and light green kind of situation. Oh, they're here to greet me. Yeah, so this room upstairs, I just have 2 of the children splitting it. Again, all base game furniture and then some eco lifestyle as well. Nice little rug and like hangout spot in the middle. And then at the end of the hall, there's another bathroom. Yeah, super simple. And there's just a tub in this one, not a tub or shower combo. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's so cut and dry. When I said I was keeping it simple, I was not lying. But I'm actually really happy with the layout of this house now. I think it just works a lot better. For 5 Sims, it makes a lot more sense to have like the space divvied up like this because the original layout, I think, was like here. This is where it was cut along. And then it was just 1 giant bedroom here and then 1 giant bathroom over here. It just didn't make any sense. Like a single or 2 Sims could live here and there was all this wasted space. Let me fix this really quick. There we go. All right. You know what? Since I do have some money left over, I'm just gonna put... I don't have enough for a barbecue, but we can probably put like a little table and chairs back here. Is there a base game picnic table? Yes. That's what they're getting. In like a light wood. And maybe a candle, maybe. And I'm putting so much emphasis on using base game items because, I mean, this house came with eco lifestyle. So originally it was built with base game and eco lifestyle things. And I think the only other pack that I used in this build was Get Together, just for these columns because, I mean, they're the best columns. All right, I'm gonna save this lot and just call this Canal Corner Reno. And it's gonna be a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom. This house was so ridiculously sad, I had to renovate it. There we go. It is there and it's done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, just leave a like, comment, or subscribe if you haven't already, just so you know whenever I put another video up, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye!